should you be pulling for Hu Tao? The answer is yeah, duh. She is one of the top 3 DPS in the game. There are some specific conditions that make her even more profitable, but I was about to say in general and in theory, but really in general, the answer is yes. You should be pulling for Hu Tao. Well, we'll go into it. The first condition is if you have Kokomi already, if you pulled for Kokomi, I would definitely recommend pulling for Hu Tao because you can get Hu Tao needs all the assists she can get to do max vaporize damage, and so I wouldn't say Kokomi is a good enabler for her because she's does so much pyro application, but Kokomi can help. She can help. And also, the general thing is, if you need big PP DPS, I would just say yes across the board. Just pull for Kokomi. She's worthwhile if you want big PP DPS. Let's see. The one thing I will say is that for optimal Hu Tao, if you want her to be the best that she can be, she does need her C1. Her C1 isn't a need, but it is so much ease of use and it feels like a major limiter is taking off of Hu Tao when you go ahead and get her C1. So what I would recommend is, if you have the resources to get her C1, 100% without question, pull for her. There's no doubt. Don't let anyone dissuade you. If you can get her C1, pull for her. Just do it. If you can't, I would probably say maybe hold off. Maybe wait for Ito, or maybe wait for a Ganyu rerun. Because, yeah, I mean, she has really serious stamina issues if you don't have her C1. So that's just something to consider. Let's see, other things about Hu Tao. She does go good with a few other characters as far as enablers. She can go well with Child on a double DPS team because they both have kind of cooldown times. They both have you hit their button, you hit their E, and they're on field. They do their damage, their elemental damage, and then you swap them off. So if you wanted big ult damage, if you were looking for big screenshot DPS, you could use Hu Tao alongside Child for your DPS. She can benefit from Bennett, but Bennett is not necessarily her favorite healer. For Hu Tao, the name of the game is going to be shields. That's another thing about her. If you are not comfortable playing with shielders, and if you're not comfortable trying to live on the razor's edge and have your HP be as low as you possibly can, then I'm not sure Hu Tao is a character for you. If you like safe and comfy gameplay, then maybe definitely hold off for Ganyu or Ito. Mona is actually a pretty great enabler for Hu Tao. You can get really insane screenshot damage with those two put together. As far as other really good enablers, Kaya is fine. If you have a built Kaya, he's actually a solid enabler for Hu Tao. But those are the main ones I see. I would not necessarily recommend her with Venti, just because his bursts might get them a little out of your hitbox. But I would recommend Kazuha, because the Viridescent Venerer set should not ever be underestimated. That bonus damage, and also the bonus damage that Kazuha himself can give you, all amazing. There are two other supports that are kind of good for her. I like Sayu for her, but only for when she needs healing, because you can use Sayu with the VV set, the Viridescent Venerer, and shred the enemy's defenses, or not defenses, resistance. and then you can go ahead with Hu Tao and do your damage, and then you can swap back on to Sayu and heal up and have your healing field shred their defenses for you while you do your damage. But this is her golden boy. More than any other DPS, she needs Xingqiu. So if your Xingqiu is on like a national team, or if you really are planning on, or if you're keeping him with another DPS, I probably would not recommend getting Hu Tao, because Hu Tao needs Xingqiu to bring out her fullest potential. So I would 100% recommend that if you're planning on getting Hu Tao, that you start right now working on your Xingqiu. That is what you can be doing if you plan on getting Hu Tao. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Hu Tao, great with Ganyu. So if you are planning on getting Ganyu, getting Hu Tao would be a wonderful DPS pickup. Because those two together, Ganyu's burst and Hu Tao going crazy in it, oh my goodness, it will trivialize almost everything. So yes, if you have Ganyu and you don't have Hu Tao, I would definitely recommend picking up Hu Tao. But if you already have a Pyro DPS, or if you already have Zhao, I would say that you don't necessarily need Hu Tao, especially if you already have like Zhao, or if you have Zhao and Bennett, you are probably fine. You don't necessarily need Hu Tao. Or if you already have Zhao, if you already have Ganyu, and you have like a Bennett, you don't necessarily need Hu Tao. But Hu Tao will make your gameplay easier if you enjoy her playstyle. I mean, the other reason to pull for her is because she's got a really cool character design. Like, I personally love the character design. Like, I love the hat, I love the long coat, and I actually really like her black aesthetic. And more than that, I like her personality. She has a really fun, quirky personality, and I love that she's a trickster. Like, I can appreciate that personally. So that's probably the main reason I'm pulling for her. That's a lie. I'm pulling for her for a big PP damage. Stabilize. You know, I already talked about Hu Tao, but I guess I'll say a quick word about the Staff of Homa. Will I say a quick word about the Staff of Homa? 1 second, let me collect my thoughts. The Staff of Homa is one of the best weapons, honestly, in Genshin for Zhongli. So that's why I personally hope it comes back with Hu Tao, just because I want it for my Zhongli. But overall, it's a great weapon. It's good for Hu Tao, it's good for Xingling, it's good for Zhongli. I guess it's okay for Raiden, but Raiden really wants energy recharge, so I wouldn't recommend it. So if you're a Zhongli main, or if you want your Zhongli to be better, pull for the Staff of Homa. If you're pulling for Hu Tao, definitely pull for the Staff of Homa. And also, if you really want your Thoma to shine, pull for the Staff of Homa. Because that's the other thing we haven't discussed. On Hu Tao's banner, there's going to be Thoma. And Thoma is not necessarily a must pull for anyone, but he's definitely a you should pull on this banner if you don't have Zhongli. Because he is a better shielder. From what I've seen so far, he seems to be a better supporting shielder than Diona, because like Xinyan, his shield can provide you with elemental reactions off field, but his shield is going to be more consistent and it's going to be faster application of his element, which is Pyro. He is a polearm user and his shields are going to be based off his HP. So the sets I'm personally going to be wanting to put together are going to be a 2-piece Tenacity of the Nilbur and 2-piece Retracing Bolide, just to get his shields as stacked as I possibly can, because his shields, I believe, are fresh with his elemental burst, and you get a shield with his skill. So if you want, you can turn him into a pretty significant and substantial shield bot, even better than I can personally turn my Xinyan into. So I think I found myself a new main Pyro shielder to accompany my Zhongli. So since that is the case, I would 100% recommend that if you are pulling for Hu Tao, you should definitely be desiring those Thoma constellations. And I really feel like Toma adds a lot of value to Hu Tao's banner for people that don't necessarily want another copy of Hu Tao, or people that would not be tempted to pull for Hu Tao right now. And by also being a polearm user, I feel like it's really clever of them. They're upping the value on Staff of Homa. What I'm kind of concerned about is what the accompanying weapon might be, because we've gotten stuck with a few stinkers recently as far as paired weapons, so I'm hoping we get something good. I'm looking at you, Wolf's Gravestone, because I don't have one and I would love to pick one up. If the Wolf's Gravestone is the accompanying weapon to the Staff of Homa in this banner, it is a must pull banner, because both of those on banner weapons are insanely powerful. But if it's something else, like if it's a Skyward Atlas or something, it might be a more of a thinker for you. So that's just something to watch out for. To wrap things up, you should probably be pulling for Hu Tao. Like, unless you're in one of the other groups that I talked about, like unless you are for sure gonna be trying to get Ito and you already have Hu Tao, or you can't get her C1, like unless it's a situation like that, or you already, or like you're not gonna go for her, you're gonna just go for the Staff of Homa. Like, unless there's a limiter for you, like unless you are free to play and you only have limited primo gems, like in which case I'd say if you don't have enough to get her C1, just save up for Ganyu. Like, unless you're in one of those situations, I'd say go ahead and pull for Hu Tao, because Hu Tao has some incredible damage and she's one of like the best DPS in the whole game. And if you can deal with her very specific playstyle, she's a worthwhile investment. And on top of that, Toma is going to be an incredible investment for your account. I really feel like he is going to be the next major 4-star. He's not going to be the next Xingqiu, but he's going to be pretty close. I'm sure almost that we're all going to be talking about Toma like the way people are talking about Bennett these days. Speaking of which, Toma is going to be an incredible partner for Bennett, because he's going to allow you to have Pyro Resonance in your party without having to have a Pyro DPS. You can make lots of cool melt teams, okay? You can make melt happen. Let's see, I think that's about it for whether or not you should pull for Hu Tao. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And feel free to join us over on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheLordYoshi. We're over there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Hope to see you there.